So now I want to introduce you to one of the bright spots on this cathedral close, and that is Marie Del Tejo, who's down here. Marie has been here for, what is it, Marie, 150 years now?
This is my 30th year.
30th year. Believe me, this lady has brought energy and commitment and constancy. She's a bright spot in the day. If you're feeling down, you go to Marie's office and say, "Hey, Marie, how you doing?" "Oh," and you walk out feeling great.
Thank you.
She has been a part of the ACT program in a variety of positions, and now she's the new executive director of the ACT program. Her first challenge has been how to figure out to continue the ACT program in its effective way in this particular season of COVID. And she will tell you more about that in a minute. But first, the most important question: how are the hamsters doing?
Well, Daniel, the guinea pigs are well.
The guinea pigs. I keep getting confused.
They're well. We did sadly have to say goodbye to one of them who had already reached his age.
Oh, okay.
So we gave him a nice burial yesterday. Some of the families came on site. So, you know, it's about hellos and goodbyes, and but otherwise we still have Jimmy's here to say hi to everyone.
Good. Well, I just did a film segment, a video segment yesterday in the Biblical Garden on the cathedral as oasis and sanctuary, and with the what are they? The hamsters? Guinea pigs. With the guinea pigs who sit outside in cages now in warm weather, and the peacocks and the red-tailed hawks and the beautiful trees, and that. This place is really a sanctuary and an oasis for animal life, plant life, human life, even the rats who live on the corner. Everybody's safe here. And that's one of the great missions of this place. And we are providing a safe place for our children. So Marie, I want you to talk a little bit about the ACT program and your involvement in it, and what you're hoping to have happen here.
Excellent. Thank you, Dean Daniel, for inviting me. And, you know, we've been doing well, and we're blessed to have a family unit here. As much as I've been here 30 years, several of our staff have been here as, 17 years, 12 years, 9 years. There's a longevity in our staff because there's a sense of community and family. And that's the way the families also feel. You know, we have a very strong sense of family in our mission, so that we're empowering each other during these crises. And ACT's been around since 1971. And one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of people don't realize that ACT offers 9 different programs. So we're looking to see how we're going to foster those programs during this time.
How many children do you serve?
Well, we could serve up to, it depends on the programs, but it could be up to, a couple of hundred children. And if you put them all the programs together, it could be 1,000 children.
Wow.
Because there's so many programs that we serve. And they go from tots to teens. They're year round. We pretty much are never closed because we're here to serve the families, the working families. Mm-hmm. So when schools are closed, we're open.
What are you hearing from families these days, the families of parents of children?
You know, the families are desperate for their children to get back to some socialization, to be with their friends. They are looking for support. It's a big thing. You know, they're going back to work, and we're getting more and more calls each day of what are we doing? Because many families know that when public schools and preschools and nurseries were in a crisis, they need to call us to say, what do you guys can do for us? Mm-hmm. And we did it this summer. We didn't have a camp, and we offered a program.
It was an amazing program.
Thank you.
Social distancing,
Yeah.
out on the close,
Yeah,
parents and children. I mean, it worked. It worked.
worked.
At first, we thought it was going to be disaster that there wasn't a summer camp, but
Yeah.
Marie and her staff made it happen in a way that was great and effective. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that. What's the best part of your job?
I have to say that it's socializing with the parents, getting to know them and their extended family, and also watching the new families who are coming on who have been at ACT as children. There's that longevity again.
Right.
There are families who will go out of their way to have their children experience ACT because they had a great memory.
Exactly. So you've got a great alumni base, as it were.
Yes.
How many thousands of people have you got?
You know, that's my new job, is to figure that out. Is to
Figure
put
that out.
together, to put that together with the support of everyone else.
What's the hardest part of your job?
I am an educator. That's my field. That is what as a program director, I have always been the one behind the executive director who ran the whole program. The challenge is now stepping in and meeting the budget,
Right.
working to keep our staff supported and employed, making sure that we can offer a program for families that are affordable, but during these times we will have to think out of the box.
Yep, exactly. Which you're good at doing.
Yeah, thank you.
What in this particular moment, what are some needs that you see for the ACT program?
So one of the things that we're going to be offering is a program where the children, we're going to offer a safe center for online learning for the children who are in public schools that are not going into the schools, but the parents have to go to work. And that, the tuition that we're going to be requiring them will not pay for the overcost, which is like tents, so that we want to be outside. We've worked with the Cathedral schools to identify spaces that we will all be using. And to be outside, we need tents, we need Wi-Fi, we need more tables. So these are things that I have to now figure out how we're going to meet those costs, because we really do want to be able to we want to offer this program to as many families as we can.
Sure. It's one more way the Cathedral, in a larger sense, is stepping up and stepping out to serve the community, especially in this hour of its need.
Yes.
So that makes us proud. Beyond that, what are your dreams for the program?
My dreams are that people will see the constant growth and support of the program and the programming of ACT, as we've always been there for the community. That we've always rose to the occasion of the challenges that we face. When I first came, it was after school summer camp and a preschool that was only 5 hours a week. And we met the challenge. Parents wanted to be here longer, and we now have a full-time preschool. We have more programs. Parents love us, and we want to be able to offer as much as we can to them
Sure.
during this time.
During that time, and you will.
And we will.
I failed to say in the beginning, we keep talking in acronyms, the ACT program, the ACT program. Why don't you tell us what ACT actually means?
So it's advancing the community of tomorrow. When ACT started in 1971, it was a summer camp, and then it turned into after school, and it was athletics, creativity, and trips, because that's what we did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had all that. And then, many, many years later, the executive director who left, Jose Torres, he came up with new ones. We brainstormed, and then it was adults and children in trust, because we're all entrusting each other. And then we, only last year or 2 years ago, we, with the exiting executive director, Jen Gower, she said, you know, it's beyond that. And we came up with, we are advancing the community of tomorrow, because from tots to teens, we really are giving them emotional support to be really strong leaders of tomorrow.
And in this moment, I need to go back 1 second. In this particular season, as you pursue your mission, what are you seeing as the effects of the pandemic and the closures on children? Are you seeing any changes or any
Yes.
patterns?
You know, I live in the neighborhood, so I see the children a lot, whether in the neighborhood or when they come onto the grounds. And I speak to the parents a lot. And, you know, it's this, they're looking for emotional support. They're missing, you know, we're all masks, and they're missing seeing our faces and our expressions. We have to think about how can we express ourselves with our youngest ones, from our 2s up. So one of the things we're doing is we are going to be wearing these masks so that you can see our face, because we really feel it's important for children to see you smile. Adults can see us smile through our eyes, but you know, children really need to see you as a whole.
Right.
And parents really appreciate that.
Of course, and children too. I mean,
Yes.
we're all people.
Yes.
Now, this is a milestone year for ACT. Or
Yes,
up.
it is. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we're entering our 50th anniversary. Next summer will be 50th. And you know, my dream is that people will see the constant growth and support that ACT has always been there for the community, and we've always rose to the occasion. And we hope that next summer everyone will be here to celebrate with us. For myself, I'm just grateful for the last 30 years as a program director, and I'm actually very proud to be the new executive director. And that's what I look forward to, our 50th anniversary.
Believe me, we're proud of you and thankful for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's an old saying that seen or unseen, bidden or unbidden, God is always present. And in some ways that reminds me of the ACT program, which is sort of tucked down into the crypt under the cathedral. And you don't see it all the time, but you know it's there, and it's working, and it's spreading the good news that we proclaim here at the cathedral. It's supporting the community. It's helping children mature and grow in grace and faith and hope. And it is, as I end this part of our interview, I want to say what I said in the beginning. Thank you for all you do and all you and ACT have done through its various transformations. Its mission has been steady of serving God's people. Thank you for that in ways that we can't even count. And we pray you continuing success in pursuing that goal. And I know you will be.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for those kind words. And I just want to say that I thank my entire team for this. I don't think I would have succeeded without them. But importantly, the entire cathedral teams and the leadership of the cathedral has really helped me through these past few months. Thank you.
Right.
Well, we have some questions from our guests that we'd like to get to, but I'm just going to jump in and ask a personal question, because Marie, you and I spoke once about families coping with toddlers who were acting out because of the pandemic. And you had mentioned how, you've been having programs virtually all through the crisis. And you've been talking to parents about social emotional learning, which is a very big tenet of the ACT strategy for children. So can you just talk a bit about how you've been helping parents parent especially toddlers who are having emotional issues during the lockdown through social emotional tactics?
Absolutely. I talk a lot with the parents about stepping back, to take a step back, because this is uncertain times and this is not normality for children. And we're asking a lot from them. We're asking them to wear masks, and they don't really understand that concept. We're asking them to think about what could have caused that behavior, that they are just a lot of the families have their children at home. And in the beginning, that was great. That's what a toddler wants, you to be home all day with them. Well, the novelty wore off. That wore off, and now what? And it's thinking a little bit again out of the box. A lot of the children don't like to be Zooming. They won't sit still to Zoom. And I said, that's okay. Have the whole family on, and all of you talk, and let the child run around the house, but they can hear you. And that the other children, the other people on Zoom can talk out loud to the child who's not facing the camera, because they can still hear you. They'll tell you that night. We have a child who comes and plays with the guinea pigs and feeds the guinea pigs. He's never been to the program, but he knows me. And at home, he'll say, he says to the mom, what would Miss Marie do? So people listen. He doesn't speak to me. He comes and talks to the guinea pigs, but at home, he speaks a lot about me. And he wants to know, are the peacocks okay? Are they in my office sleeping? It's interesting how children just need time to be expressive, and we have to just take a step back and just listen sometimes.
One of our questions asked about the demographics of the ACT families. We know that they're largely from Morningside Heights, West Harlem. We know that many rely on financial aid we provide in order to participate. So can you talk a bit about that?
Sure. When ACT was founded, it provided a safe haven for toddlers to teens from many faith and cultures, and more importantly, economic backgrounds. And it's to gather, to play, and learn together. And one of the things we see now, the calls we're getting are parents are asked to go back to work. They're looking for childcare. They're trying to make it figure out, but they have to, it's a cost to them, and they're trying to figure that out because they have to pay an a registration fee, for the program, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to make the ends meet and provide for their children so that they can go back to work. So a lot of the families come from different backgrounds, from single families to working families to first responders,
And I know you said a lot of the families have lost their jobs.
Yeah. A lot of families have lost their jobs, and some have dropped out because they can't be here. But one of the things we've told them is, we're always here for you. When it changes, if you need to, if you want to enroll, if you want to apply for financial aid, because they're going to have to look for a job. Many of them may be out of work, but they're going to have to look, they're going to start looking for something. And so now, where does childcare come in? And that's what we're hoping to support them with.
Another question is, what are the safety protocols you have in place for the kids and the staff?
And the staff. So we, all summer, our staff have been taking online classes with CDC and the Department of Health and the Office of Children and Family Services, and it's been ongoing. We do have a safety plan. And for everyone, it's like wearing your masks, social distancing. For children in our preschool and nursery, once they get into a pod, they stay in their pods together. And then we're working with the parents. So here's an example. The DOH says parents can't come into the site, into the classrooms. So how are the children that are 2 years old gonna know who their teachers are? How are they gonna separate? So we decided we're gonna Zoom we've been Zooming and having classes online way before school started so they can see our faces. We've been walking around with the cameras to show them the grounds, their classrooms, and things like that. So just really to give them that support. And then we'll make accommodations as they get on. And for the after school program, we're looking on how we're going to continue supporting the diversity that we have. You know, we're one of the few programs in New York that has an after-school program that the children, when they get together, are from private and public school and homeschool. So how are we going to do that this school year? And that's what we're working with the Office of Children and Family Services.
That's great. We have one more question. When things get back to normal, hopefully soon, what lessons are you going to take from this period? Because your staff pivoted really quickly to serving families virtually, and it was remarkable. It was, I think, within 2 weeks of the cathedral closing, you were all like online calling families, and it was pretty remarkable. So when we're fully open, you know, do you have any lessons you're going to take away from this experience?
I think one of the biggest lessons is, I think when you bring your team into the round table, they have so many great ideas that you can execute into your programs and make it better and bigger. But also, it was a lot of the ideas of these parents and guests of the cathedral when they were walking around and sharing ideas. And I think the biggest takeaway is to invite everyone in to create this type of community. It doesn't take one person, it takes an entire great team.
That's true.
Well,
I think we're at the end of our time, and I just you and the dean have such a wonderful rapport. It's really so nice to watch, and you know, as the dean said, Marie's just one of the bright lights on a cathedral staff that has many bright lights. So
thank you.
We're thankful that you're a colleague. And I want to remind people to always feel free to email or call me. I think you have my contact information. If you want to provide support to ACT, we have obviously a great need to disperse financial aid, purchase equipment and other things. So that support is always welcome. You can go to our website, call me, email me. And we're going to be planning our next Zoom community update. And so we'll get back to you with the date. And just want to thank you all for helping the cathedral be such an anchor for the community, and a community that really needs it. West Harlem, Morningside is hurting. Businesses are closing, you know, people are in pain, and we've been just working as hard as we can to make sure we're a resource for them, and that's because of all of you. So I thank you all for joining, and again, always feel free to contact me, and we will see you on our next call.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, Marie.
Take care.
Thank you, Daniel.